Okay, here we are. We are at the Concord Music Hall in Chicago, Illinois. We all know who this is. If you don't know him because of the beard now,
True.
John from Skillet. How you doing?
I'm good, man. I'm having fun.
Yeah, you guys have a good, nice tour going on right now.
Yeah.
But I do have some questions. I know we talk about music and everything else, but that's kind of like the norm. But people want to know what's with the beard. That was the biggest question from listening. You got a beard, yes, because your album cover is you, and it's the beard. What made you?
I don't remember when I decided to grow a beard. I did it a couple of years ago for the first time, probably about 4 years ago, and I really liked it.
Yeah.
And a lot of fans really hated it, and I was like, I really liked it, so I shaved it because people were really ticked off. And then I think it was a little bit after that, beards kind of started coming more in style.
Yeah.
People were doing it. I was thinking, I really liked having a beard. Maybe I should do that again. So anyway, we when we were recording the record, we had about 2 months, no, almost 3 months off. We had December, January, February, 4 months off, no shows.
Wow.
And I was like, you know what? I'm going to grow a beard. It's just going to be fun. I don't care. I don't have to look good for any shows. I don't have to, and it was really fun. I ended up growing it. My wife really liked it, and I really liked it. And then all of a sudden, guys started kind of like looking at me like, I was like, I think that maybe I look a little meaner with the beard. I was getting more respect.
Yeah.
I was getting more respect from dudes. Usually they're like, pretty boy.
Yeah.
And now they're like,
okay.
Yeah. So anyway, I thought maybe I'll keep it.
Yeah. I had a beard I grew it out. I had it for about 2 months, and then my daughter had a baby, so I have a grandson now. And
awesome.
He's 4 months, well, he'll be 5 months on the 13th, and his little fingers figured out how to grab.
Oh, yeah.
So I was like, we're shaving this. We're shaving it. So, your new album, because you guys just came out with Rise and then had time off, you did your tour, and then the new album. So how did this progress so fast? I mean, it really was kind of...
Well, I think that we tour so much it feels fast, but it was 3 years between the two records.
Wow, has it been 3 years?
Yeah, everybody says that like, I didn't know it was that long because we tour so much.
Yeah.
And there are so many people that even before this newest record came out that just heard of us this past summer. I meet people.
Really?
They just never heard the band or never saw us or. I think I did hear you guys, but never saw you play. So, Skillet's one of those bands that we tour so often that it gets a little hard to keep up with the records. But it's been 3 years, and so excited about the record. It's my favorite album we put out in about 10 years, probably like a decade. And playing it's really fun songs to play live.
Yeah, I see. You're one of my son's top 3 bands. So. I got the album. I have not heard the entire one. I mean, I got the songs to play, but we can only play the one release. So it's like I play, just the release. But he plays it over, and just like he did with Rise, over and over. What he did with your song Monster, the video, he played it over and over. I mean, he is really into you guys.
Sounds like a good kid.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Anthony is, but he just like I was listening to Rise on the way in. And he's just is this really is your favorite album so far? The funnest one?
It is. I don't know if it's my favorite Skillet record, but it's very competitive with my favorite.
Okay.
Comatose was my favorite for lots of reasons. It was the first album of ours that was successful, and that's always special when you have your first kind of hit. It changes things, and so Comatose has a very emotional feel to it for the band and for the fans. And this is my favorite since then. So you won't really know until it's been out for a year or so, till you start hearing those fan stories. Part of the reason that Comatose has been my favorite is because I meet people all the time that have comatose tattoos. Tattoos from the lyrics. Like this song saved my life from drugs. This song helped me not commit suicide. This is me and my wife's song when we got married. This is and had my kid. This was the song that was coming on the radio. It's so meaningful to hear those stories from the fans. There's nothing like it. It's the best part of my job. So I won't have that fan emotion experience till the record's been out for a year or so. But it's a very fun record to listen to. It's the funnest turn the record on. You don't have to think. You can run, go for lift some weight, go for a workout, go for a drive, and you'll enjoy listening to the record.
Yeah.
And that's what we really set out to do with this one.
Okay. I got a question about your album, Rise. You ever hear something and you think, where did that come from? You're in between your first two tracks. You have that kids get under the table, and all that. Yeah. And then all of a sudden it says, I wish you had never been born. And the first time I heard that, I'm like, where does that come from?
Right.
Where did all that lead up to in between the songs? I mean, where did that, because it really surprised me. It says, talking to kids, you hear, bad stories about that. And, about parents say that. And
sure.
I mean, but so where did that come from? I mean,
the whole story was, I was wanting to put a montage together of all the big problems of the world that people are facing, and I don't mean that they're small, but they're about my life,
Right.
So kind of like the macro and the micro, the big problems of war, and of course at the time was early on there was a lot of school shootings around when we wrote Rise, 2011, 2012, a lot of school shootings. Today, it would be a little bit more ISIS than it was then, but it's the same kind of thing. All this violence and all this terrible things happen. And then also, at the same time as all that, a lot of people, like the kid in the story on Rise, is like, in my own life, my parents are fighting all the time. I'm fighting with my dad, and it's a broken home. He doesn't want me around, and so that was kind of the story, the story with that.
Okay.
So I pulled a lot of my own story growing up and the way that I felt, and I think that's why people have been with Skillet so long. We haven't had the most hits in the world. We haven't had 10 radio hits. We've had a couple. I wish we'd have 10 more. but our lyrics have always been very personal, very much. This is what I've gone through, and there's a lot of people out there that say me too.
Right.
And that's what's important.
Yeah, and that just really caught me because I love them. I got my daughter's 20, my son's 18, and I just love my kids to death.
Yeah.
And I could never even think about how a parent could say that. And when that my son put it in in the car, we were going somewhere, and I heard that, I'm like, where did that come from?
Right.
And it really kind of, because it does hit home. I mean, even though I would never say that to it still kind of hits home. Like I don't get that. You know what I'm saying? And
yeah, there is so many people out there that are in really crappy homes.
Yes.
And a lot of fatherless homes. I don't know. Do men just aren't stepping up like they should?
Yeah.
And people just have and I see those people at our shows all the time.
Yeah.
I get the letters, they write me letters, and they're heartbreaking letters. And so a lot of times I write songs based on those stories.
Okay.
And so people, talk about their stories, and I end up writing a song. In fact, there's a song on our new record called I Want to Live.
Yes.
And I wrote that based on a fan letter. I was in Russia.
Really?
Yeah, we were touring Russia, and somebody gave me a letter, and it's broken English, but they Google Translate it, and they write these letters, and they're really sweet fans over there. And it was this story about a very bad home life, and how she didn't know she wanted to live anymore, but our music gives her hope, and the last thing is that your music makes me want to live. And I was really impacted by that letter, and I wrote a song about it, and I called it I Want to Live. So
that is really cool. I interviewed Doro a couple weeks ago, and we were talking about living, and I said, well, I said my saying is any day above dirt's a good one. She goes, that's a song lyric. I'm like, just tell him you got it from Jim from Asgard. That's all I'm asking. So it's funny how you get ideas from just conversations and stuff. So so when Jen came aboard as your drummer, and she started singing, was that the big issue with bringing her in? Because she's a monster on drums. I love her.
Oh yeah.
She is like, I'm not gonna, Jen, I'm crushing on you here a little bit. But she is really good. And her voice is phenomenal. When she came aboard, was this the whole thing? You wanted the voice?
I did not have any idea that she sang.
Really?
Actually, no. And in our Comatose record is when we started doing a lot of vocal duets with me and my wife Corey, and people really liked it. You know, it was kind of a unique thing. Not a lot of people do. Kind of very Fleetwood Mac.
Right.
Maybe not a lot of people did it since then, and within a guy and a girl. And so she came into the band just to play drums, and I think Corey was kind of not wanting to sing as much, you know.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I kind of, you know, I thought she sounded amazing on like Rebirthing is my favorite Skillet song, but it's not really something that she wanted to do, and it kind of worked out, you know, that she was there.
Because Corey didn't want to do it no more.
Yeah, and I thought, well, we just won't write those guy and girl duets. We don't have to do that, you know. Some of our biggest songs don't have that. You know, Monster doesn't have that.
Right.
But it worked out really cool.
Yeah, because I mean, I think anybody that can sing and play drums at the same time is just, because I have no talent whatsoever.
Right.
I got nothing. Okay,
Sure.
I can talk to people. That's my talent, is talking. That's all I can do. But I can't play an instrument. So when I see somebody like her and playing and singing and doing all that I think it's just phenomenal.
Yeah.
And I wish someday I'm going to get the whole band to Skillet on an interview. Someday.
Right.
Someday, because every time I see you, it's only you. It's always just you.
Yeah, I usually just do it myself.
Yeah, and it's Don likes to talk. But I would love to get, you know, just their, you know, idea of how, you know, they came about, and, you know, and I look, you know, I always say the bass player or the guitarist, because I suck at names. I really do.
Oh, Seth.
Yeah.
Yep, Seth, and then Corey is my wife.
Corey,
we both play guitar, but Seth is the lead guy.
Yeah, and Corey has had very different looks through each album. I mean, when I saw you, what was it? It was in Tinley Park. I don't know if it was Warped Tour, but she had that kind of the big hair, Kajagoogoo type thing going on. And then the PRs I got this time, it was just straight.
Right.
You know, so she gets a lot of looks going on. Does she just go with whatever she feels at the time, or I mean?
Yeah, probably so. I mean, I think she had a similar look for a very long time, and then she decided to go blonde, and that's when it got short, and then she's kind of growing it out. So it's kind of, I don't think it's necessarily want to change every album, but it's fun to change it up after a while, you know?
Well, yeah, like you with the beard. And but no, because I mean, I saw her, and then when I saw her on stage at Tinley Park, she did have the blonde hair and the whole, you know, nude, and I'm like, when did that happen? You know, I didn't get that picture, you know? But now you guys did you guys start as a Christian band and then transferred over to rock, or are you, I know you're intertwined with both genres.
Yeah.
When you started as a Christian band, did you think this is where you would be going to, or how did that transition?
Yeah, I never wanted to be just a Christian industry band. And at the time, we had signed to an indie label in Memphis. And at the time, they had a Christian division and they had a rock division. And we signed with the Christian division. I kind of thought, we'll work and we'll do both markets. And very, very soon after that, their rock division just went away. Oh. So, of course, it was only indie anyway, but it was something. And so I didn't really realize, because today, with the internet, you can learn, teenagers out there can learn a lot more about the business than people like me knew at that time. I didn't really understand a lot about the business. And I didn't understand that if we were a Christian band, that it would be difficult to become a rock band. I just thought, what's the big deal? It's the same. It's all music, you know?
Right.
And so I kind of found out very quickly that there's a lot of, prejudice is fair, but that's not really the word I want to say. There's a lot of pigeonholing that happens.
Yes.
Pigeonholing is more what I mean. There are some prejudices as well. But the pigeonholing thing, like, oh, that's just what they do. And I was like, no. I never wanted to play music just for Christian people.
Right.
I wanted to write music and play to all kinds of people. And finally we're able to do that now. And that's what I love, because music is powerful, and it speaks. You can write a song and it can mean one thing to one person and something way different to somebody else.
Absolutely.
And I think it's the power of music. And so I always wanted to have a large group of people of different, races, religions, all of it.
Right.
And I'll say something about it tonight.
Okay.
On the stage, because you'll see it at the shows. You'll see like 15-year-old kids. You'll see grandparents.
Well, we were watching as we were coming in. We saw like 8-year-olds.
Oh yeah.
We saw grandparents. Like you have. I mean, really, you have even listeners on Asgard. A huge, range of people.
Yeah,
you
very
have
big demographic. I tell people, and this is not meant to be arrogant at all. On a much less degree, it's like going to an Aerosmith show. Your Aerosmith concerts, because you have older people that their kids were raised on it. Their kids are now being raised on it. And that's a little bit what Skillet's like. Just, like with 10% of the audience.
Well, that's how my son found out about you guys, is through my radio station.
You see?
And it works, and,
you thank your dad.
I told my daughter, and my son, I said, I'm going to interview John from Skillet tonight, and Heather, my daughter goes, I want to go. And I'm like, no, I only got 2 men. I got, my photo and me. I'm like, that's it. That's all I got.
That's awesome.
But no, they do enjoy your music as well as I do. And Comatose was huge on Asgard for quite some time.
Oh, cool.
It really was. It was. It got a lot of requests when it came out. Monster got a lot of requests. So you are. I think your songs are bigger than what the mainstream puts you at. Because obviously internet radio is a lot different. They don't take ours into consideration, but you have a lot of fans out there that I think that maybe you don't know because it's internet and you don't get those analytics per se. So I can tell you that we play a lot of your songs.
Awesome.
A lot of your, old, obviously, like I said before, we have to follow regulations with the music industry, so we can only play what you release and what we're allowed. But Comatose was huge. Like I said, Monster, there was a huge array of Skillet. Every show I've done, there was always a Skillet request. So
I love it.
So, but I know you're okay. Kyle's here. We're gonna be we're getting the look. I'm
getting the look.
Yeah, I'm getting the look. Like, wrap this shit up. We got things to do. Yeah, exactly. But thank you for your time. I really appreciate it. I'm glad we finally got to sit down after every time we've met. And like I said, I do appreciate when you took the picture of my son. That was really cool of you. You weren't doing, like I said, you weren't doing interviews. You were just kind of running through doing photo ops. And I think it might have been him. I don't know if it was him or not at Rock on the Range. Were you at Rock on the Range? Yeah, I think it was him. He was like, no, we don't have time. And I'm like, just take a picture of my son. And you're like, yeah, cool. And then, so my son, it's on his mirror.
Oh, that's great.
You and Jacoby from Papa Roach are.
One of my good friends.
Yeah, you two are his favorite.
Oh, that's
so
cool.
When both of you stopped, it was great. I really, that was really appreciative from me for my kids.
Awesome.
So, but this is John. You know him, we got the beard now.
That's right.
But hopefully next time we get to see you, I get to, well, let's get everybody in here,
or
at least your wife,
Right.
We gotta get the both of you, and I want to find out how both of you started, and I want to get both of yours, kind of like how you both got into this, and everything.
Yeah.
I'd really like to hear
Cool.
your guys' story on, the marriage, the Christian background, and then into the rock genre, because I think it's very interesting. Because we have another. I don't know if you ever heard of them. They're out of, I think. I know I'm gonna get this wrong. Either Dakota or Montana. It's a Christian band called Grip, GRYP, and I play them all the time because I love their music. So we don't care if it's Christian or whatever. If it's rock music, we're gonna play it for you. So, all right, this is John from Skillet. Thank you for your time, and we would definitely see him down the road because they tour. They're always on the road. They're always somewhere. So check out their videos. Check out their music. Brand new album.
Unleashed.
Go
get it.
You can't miss it. It's got John's side face. He's kind of muddy and dirty, and then with the beard.
Put it in your face.
Yeah. All right. We'll see you next time on Asgard Radio.